Before we begin, make sure you stay until the very end, because what happened on that unforgettable night left fans speechless and changed two lives forever. The final revelation was something nobody expected. If you enjoy emotional stories filled with heartfelt moments and shocking twists, subscribe and turn on notifications because this story is one you will not want to miss. The rain had been falling softly across the city for hours. The streets shimmered beneath thousands of golden lights. Cars moved slowly through the evening traffic, while people hurried toward warm restaurants and crowded cafes. Yet among all the noise and movement, there was one person sitting quietly by a window. Tian Xiwei. She stared into the distance while holding a cup of coffee that had long gone cold. To anyone passing by, she looked calm, successful, happy. But hidden deep inside her heart was a secret she had never shared with anyone. A secret she had carried for years. A secret connected to one person. Zhang Linghe. The world saw them as colleagues, friends, talented stars working hard to achieve their dreams. But nobody knew how much Zhang Linghe's presence had quietly shaped Tian Xiwei's journey. Years earlier, before the awards, before the fame reached new heights, before countless headlines filled entertainment websites, there had been a simple moment. A small encounter. One that seemed insignificant at the time. Yet, Tian Xiwei never forgot it. Back then she was still struggling to find her place. Every audition felt like a battle. Every rejection felt heavier than the last. There were nights when she questioned everything. Nights when she wondered whether she should continue pursuing her dream. One evening after a particularly difficult day, she found herself sitting alone on a studio staircase. Her eyes were fixed on the floor. Her confidence was fading. The future looked uncertain. That was when someone appeared nearby. Zhang Linghe.
He was not famous yet either.
Just another ambitious actor chasing opportunities. He noticed her sitting alone. For several seconds he said nothing. Then he offered a simple smile. A genuine one. Not the kind people give out of politeness. The kind that makes you feel seen. The kind that arrives exactly when you need it most. They spoke for only a few minutes. Nothing extraordinary. Nothing dramatic. Yet before leaving, Zhang Linghe said something she would remember forever. Keep going. You are closer than you think. The words were simple, but they stayed with her. Long after that conversation ended. Long after they went their separate ways. Through every challenge. Through every setback. Through every difficult decision. Those words remained. And while the world moved forward, Tian Xiwei quietly carried that memory. Years passed. Careers grew. Schedules became overwhelming. Projects multiplied. Public attention increased. The entertainment industry never stopped moving. Neither did they. Sometimes their paths crossed. Sometimes months passed without seeing each other. Sometimes entire years seemed to disappear. But whenever Tian Xiwei heard Zhang Linghe's name, a small smile would appear. Not because of fame. Not because of success. But because of that forgotten staircase. That brief conversation. Those few encouraging words. She never told him, never mentioned it, never revealed how much that moment had meant. Instead, she kept it locked inside her heart. A private chapter no one knew existed. As time passed, something else happened. The admiration grew. Not into obsession. Not into fantasy. But into something deeper. Respect. Appreciation. Connection. Every interview she watched revealed the same kindness she remembered from years ago. Every behind-the-scenes clip showed the same sincerity. Every story from co-workers confirmed what she already knew. Zhang Linghe had not changed. Success had not altered the person he was. And somehow that made everything even harder. Because feelings become difficult to ignore when the person continues proving your heart right. Still she remained silent. Years came and went. The secret stayed hidden. Then one evening, everything changed. It happened during a major industry gathering. Hundreds of celebrities filled the venue. Cameras flashed nonstop. Reporters crowded every entrance. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Everyone expected glamorous fashion, award announcements, memorable speeches. Nobody expected what was about to happen. Tian Xiwei arrived smiling. Confident as always. Yet internally she felt exhausted. The previous months had been demanding. Long filming schedules, endless travel, little rest, few opportunities to slow down. She attended because it was expected. Nothing more, or so she thought. The ceremony progressed normally. Applause echoed throughout the hall. Winners accepted trophies. Guests laughed and celebrated. Everything seemed routine. Then suddenly the lights dimmed. A special segment began. Large screens illuminated the room. A video presentation appeared. It highlighted journeys, dreams, failures, perseverance, the emotional struggles artists often hide behind smiling photographs. As the presentation continued, audience members became unusually quiet. Some looked emotional, others reflective. Then came a question displayed across the screen. Who helped you continue when you wanted to quit? The room fell silent. One by one, several actors appeared on screen sharing stories. Stories of encouragement. Stories of unexpected support. Stories of people who changed their lives without realizing it. Tian Xiwei watched carefully. Something about the segment touched her deeply. Then the host announced a surprise. Selected guests would be invited to answer the same question live. Names appeared randomly. The audience applauded. Then one name appeared. Tian Xiwei. A spotlight found her immediately. The crowd cheered. She smiled nervously. Nobody knew why her heart had suddenly begun racing. The microphone reached her hands. The room waited. Millions watching online waited too. The host repeated the question. Who helped you continue when you wanted to quit? For a moment she hesitated. Her eyes lowered. Memories flooded back. The staircase. The uncertainty. The encouragement. The smile. Everything returned at once. The audience expected a short answer. Instead, they witnessed something unforgettable. Tian Xiwei took a deep breath. Then she began speaking. She described a difficult period early in her career. She described feeling lost, alone, unsure whether she belonged. Then she spoke about a young actor who stopped to encourage her when nobody else noticed she was struggling. The audience listened closely. Every word carried genuine emotion. Many assumed the story involved a mentor, a family member, a close friend. Then she revealed the name. Zhang Linghe. The room erupted. Gasps echoed everywhere. Cameras instantly turned toward him. He looked stunned, completely stunned, as if hearing a story he had forgotten long ago. Tian Xiwei continued. She explained how those few words had stayed with her for years, how they gave her strength, how they became a reminder during difficult moments, how one simple act of kindness changed her perspective. By the time she finished speaking, countless people in the audience were emotional. Some wiped away tears. Others applauded before she even handed back the microphone. Then something unexpected happened. Zhang Linghe stood up. Nobody knew what he intended to do. The cameras followed every movement. He walked across the room, past rows of celebrities, past tables filled with guests, straight toward Tian Xiwei. The entire venue watched in complete silence. When he finally reached her, he smiled. The same smile from years earlier. The same smile she never forgot. Then he said quietly, "I never knew." Those 3 words carried more weight than anyone expected. For several seconds, neither spoke. Yet somehow that silence said everything. The audience erupted into applause. The emotional atmosphere became overwhelming. People were standing, cheering, smiling, some visibly moved by the sincerity of the moment. But the night was not finished. Far from it. Later, after the ceremony ended, guests gathered for celebrations. Music filled the venue. Conversations echoed everywhere. Yet, Tian Xiwei found herself stepping outside onto a quiet balcony, overlooking the city. She needed a moment alone. The emotions of the evening felt unreal. The cool night air provided comfort. Then she heard footsteps behind her. She turned around. Zhang Linghe. For a second, neither spoke. The city lights sparkled beneath the night sky. Everything felt strangely calm, almost as if time itself had slowed down. Then Zhang Linghe laughed softly. "You really remembered that conversation?" Tian Xiwei smiled. "Every word." He shook his head in disbelief. Neither of them noticed how long they talked afterward. Minutes became hours.
Stories were exchanged.
Memories revisited. Dreams discussed. They spoke not as celebrities, not as public figures, but as two people sharing truths they had never spoken aloud. For the first time in years, there were no cameras, no expectations, no distractions, only honesty, only connection, only understanding. And somewhere during that conversation, something changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but unmistakably. Walls disappeared. Distance vanished. Years of silence finally gave way to something genuine, something real. The following weeks became the subject of endless speculation among fans. People noticed a difference, a warmth, a comfort, a new energy whenever they appeared together. Neither addressed the rumors. Neither explained what happened that evening.
They did not need to.
Because the most meaningful moments are often the ones that cannot be captured by headlines. Months later, during another event, a reporter asked Tian Xiwei a simple question. What is the most important lesson you have learned in your career? The audience expected a professional answer. Perhaps something about hard work, determination, success. Instead, she smiled and replied, "Never underestimate the impact of kindness. You never know how one moment might change someone forever." The answer immediately went viral, not because it was dramatic, but because everyone understood the deeper meaning behind it. And somewhere nearby, Zhang Linghe smiled too, because now he understood something he had never realized before. Sometimes the smallest actions create the biggest changes. Sometimes a few encouraging words become someone's reason to continue. Sometimes a forgotten conversation becomes a treasured memory. And sometimes a person quietly waits for years carrying gratitude and admiration in their heart. Not because they expect anything in return, but because certain people leave footprints on our lives that never fade. As for Tian Xiwei and Zhang Linghe, nobody truly knows what the future holds. Life continues moving forward. Dreams continue evolving. Journeys continue unfolding. Yet one thing became clear after that unforgettable night. Some connections are written long before anyone notices them. Some stories take years to reach their turning point. And sometimes the moment that changes everything arrives when you least expect it. If this emotional story touched your heart, remember to like this video, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe for more unforgettable stories filled with powerful twists, emotional journeys, and moments that stay with you long after the story ends.